You're broke, not because you don't make enough money, not because the economy is rigged against you, not because you didn't get lucky. You're broke because you keep buying stupid things that are keeping you poor.
Today, I want to share with you how I brainwashed myself to be rich and went from a broke personal trainer to the CEO of a multi-$100 million company in the span of less than a decade.
And before you click away because the truth hurts, let me tell you something. I built my fortune by understanding one fundamental principle that separates the wealthy from everyone else. Rich people buy assets. Poor people buy liabilities and think they're assets. It's that simple, and it's that brutal.
If you don't know who I am, my name is Layla Hormozi. I'm the CEO and founder of Acquisition.com, which is a portfolio of businesses valued at about $500 million. I built and sold 3 of my own businesses by the age of 28, leading to a net worth of $100 million by the age of 28. And I did that by using these same principles that I'm going to share with you in this video.
Now, I know what you're thinking. Here comes another rich guy telling me I can't have a cup of coffee. Wrong. This isn't about coffee. This is about 5 specific categories of purchases that are absolutely destroying your financial future. And I'm going to break them down for you right now.
Listen, growing up, I did not come from a rich family and I did not come from a rich area. In fact, most of my memories of my childhood are remembering how we didn't have money, how we had to save money, and all of the times where my parents were worried about paying the bills.
Let me start with the first thing you need to stop buying immediately. Brand new car.
The neighborhood that I lived in, the same problems went on there. Like either you're bartending, you're waiting at one of the local restaurants, or you're working at a car dealership. And so for most of my life, when I thought about like what is the most unfathomable amount of money that I could make, I thought of $100,000.
Oh, this one makes people angry, but I don't care. Buying a new car is one of the dumbest financial decisions you can make, and I'm going to prove it to you with simple math.
And then when I got to the age of about, I want to say, between 17 and 18, and I actually ended up reading the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And as I read the book, I realized it wasn't even that I had a poor dad, it was that every single person I surrounded myself with, including everyone that lived in my town, all had the poor dad mentality. And I immediately was like, I need to get out of here because my beliefs about money are what are preventing me from making it.
The second you drive that car off the lot, it loses 20 to 30% of its value. Gone. Evaporated. You just lit thousands of dollars on fire for the privilege of having that new car smell.
As soon as I graduated college, in fact, I think it was 3 days before my graduation ceremony, I packed up my car and I moved to California because I was like, if I'm surrounding myself with these people who don't have the right beliefs about money, it's very unlikely I'm going to make more. Which leads me to my first principle on making money and brainwashing yourself into being rich, which is ignore advice from broke people.
Within the first year, you're down 30%. By year 3, you've lost 50% of what you paid. You're not buying transportation, you're buying depreciation wrapped in sheet metal. But here's what really kills me. People finance these cars. They take out loans at 5, 6, 7% interest to buy something that's losing value faster than ice cream melts in July. You're paying interest on an asset that's depreciating. That's financial suicide.
If someone has less money than you, why are you taking their advice? Even if it's your parents, like if they're not making the kind of money you want to make, why are you listening to them? Would you listen to a personal trainer who is 100 pounds overweight? Why do I think moving was the best decision I could have made for myself? I got around people who were richer, who were in better shape, who had better relationships, who were more ambitious. So what did I get by proxy? I started to become all those things.
And don't even get me started on the people who lease. Leasing is the absolute worst. You're renting a depreciating asset, which means at the end of the lease, you have nothing, 0 equity. You gave the dealership thousands of dollars for the privilege of borrowing their car. Congratulations, you just made the dealership owner rich while you stayed broke.
Can you succeed despite your surroundings? Yes. Does it make it harder? Yes. And so we want to make it as easy as possible to get rich. And the reality is, if you hang around broke people, you're more likely to stay broke.
Now I can already hear the excuses. But Kevin, I need a reliable car. I have kids. I need to get to work. Of course you do. Buy a 3-year-old certified pre-owned car. Let somebody else take the depreciation hit. You get a reliable vehicle, often still under warranty for half the price. That's called being smart with your money. That's what rich people do.
The second piece of that I would ask myself is, what benefit does anybody around you get if you make more money than them? The reality is that it benefits them not at all. In fact, anything, it's probably worse for them. Because then what? How do they keep up with you, right? It makes them feel insecure. It's like, it will change the relationship in a way that they don't want. It will make them feel insecure about their own selves. And it's more likely that given enough time, the relationship comes to an end because there's not enough in common.
We don't care about impressing the neighbors. We care about building wealth. You know what I did when I was building my first company? I drove a beat-up old car that barely ran. Did it hurt my ego? Maybe a little. Did it hurt my bank account? Not at all. And that's the difference. Poor people spend money to look rich. Rich people spend money to get richer. Which one do you want to be?
And so you also have to ask yourself, even if it's not hurting you to be hanging out with these people, are they subconsciously preventing you from growing because they know it's not going to benefit them in any way? So it actually would benefit them if you remained poor.
Because you can't be both. The car you drive says nothing about your wealth. The balance in your investment account, that tells the real story. And every dollar you waste on a new car is a dollar that's not growing in the stock market, not earning dividends, not compounding into your future. This is where people make their first critical mistake, and it sets the tone for every other bad financial decision they make. They prioritize looking successful over being successful.
Following financial advice from somebody who has less money than you ultimately is like following a broken compass. It is going to take you in the wrong direction or no direction at all.
And that brings me to the second thing that's keeping you poor, something that's even more insidious because society tells you it's a smart investment. The second thing you need to stop buying is too much house. Now, this is going to upset a lot of people because we've been fed this lie for generations that your home is your biggest asset. Wrong. Your home is your biggest liability.
In fact, super interesting. So the Federal Reserve has done a survey, and that survey indicated that individuals with higher income peers tend to eventually have higher income themselves. And so it may sound harsh what I'm saying, but just the truth is that it's just like anything in life. If you want to be more in shape, if you want to have more money, if you want to have a better marriage, get around people who have what you want.
Let me explain something to you. An asset puts money in your pocket. A liability takes money out of your pocket. Your house, the one you live in, takes money out of your pocket every single month. Mortgage payment, property taxes, insurance, maintenance, utilities, landscaping, repairs. It's a money pit, and the bigger the house, the bigger the pit. But Kevin, real estate always goes up in value, does it? Ask the people who bought in 2007 and watched their home values collapse. Ask the people who are underwater on their mortgages right now. Real estate goes up sometimes in some markets if you're lucky, but even when it does go up, you can't access that equity without selling the place you live in or taking out a loan against it, which is just more debt.
The second principle to help you brainwash yourself into getting rich is to understand that money loves speed and wealth loves time. Power is the time between a thought to an action. So the faster that you can act on something, the more powerful you are. You know what money loves? Money loves speed. Money loves power. So in order to accumulate money, you want to move quickly on ideas. So if you look at somebody first starting a business, for example, and then within, a month, maybe it's not working too well, and then they just try to see it out for like 2 years, just trying to make sure this thing works. But like the best people, they're gonna try something, iterate, try something, iterate, try something, iterate until it clicks. And the reason that this is important, that money loves speed, is because lots of these things that we're doing to make money are reversible decisions.